This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay, so this is really powerful. I do think it's a little short of being a straight up bomb, but that's maybe only because this format has so many bombs that it's not nearly as good as some of them, but it's still quite strong. Gives you stuff early and then turns into an anthem. I think it's really nice. If we didn't have a really good rare, what would we take here? It's a good question. Probably Thirst for Discovery, maybe Laid to Rest. It's strong when you can build around it well. Not easy to do necessarily, but it is strong. This is a pretty weak pack apart from this. I do like the Scob. Dawnheart Disciple's an okay 2-drop. There's a bunch of okay cards, but yeah, we're happy to get this pack when it has its rare, because it's pretty weak otherwise. Okay, so I'd probably take Griffwing Cavalry here. I've liked that card a lot. It's really easy to train. Just the fact that it can bring things into the air with it is great. I do like Traveling Minister. It's been a nice overperformer. Sigarda's Imprisonment has been a big underperformer, but, you know, we would play one. We just don't want to take it over Griffwing Cavalry in this case. And yeah, I think Griffwing Cavalry is pretty far and away the best card in this pack, too. So, not a bad first couple picks. I don't think the Minister or Imprisonment. I definitely don't think Imprisonment's better than Griffwing Cavalry. It's funny, I think the Minister is better than Imprisonment. Like, Imprisonment has ended up as a C, and I'd say the Minister's like a C+. So, yeah. Ooh, we're getting some good stuff here. Alluring Suitor is great. This is an interesting pick, though, because we also have a Braid, an incredibly powerful removal spell. It's not a kill-all, you know, and those are extra good in this format. And Alluring Suitor is just insane. Like, if you transform it early, it just ends the game. It's close. It's close between a Braid and Alluring Suitor. This is one of the best uncommons, and this is one of the best commons in the whole format. It's really not hard to transform this and get crazy value out of it. Man, do I want a Braid more than I want Alluring Suitor? I don't know that I do. I'm going to go with the Suitor here. We have a nice start for an aggro deck, that's for sure. Okay, so we've got some different things going on here. Allenbach Escort is an okay card. I mean, we need more ++1 counters for it to be great. Taxidermist is nice. Brinecombers pretty nice. We could end up blue-white. It helps us go wide, and our announcement likes that. A couple of pretty nice common black cards, too. I think we take the Brinecomber. It's just really powerful when you can get it going. Fearful Villager's okay. Like, there's decent white cards here, but Brinecomber is just very powerful in the right deck. And we do want to be going wide when we have Wedding Announcement, Wedding Festivity, so. And Alluring Suitor, I mean, I guess. Sanguine Statuette is not something I love. Adamant Will's a decent trick. This is another pretty strong Signpost uncommon. I think we're kind of reduced here to either just taking a strong, completely off-color Signpost or taking one of these mediocre creatures. I think I like the Villager a little more, and I think that is where we're going to go, is the mediocre creature over Adamant Will. We're going to need creatures, obviously, so. And it's not a bad one. I mean, it's likely it makes the cut. It's just not, you know, great. Drogskull Infantry, however, is quite good, and if we end up in blue-white, it'll be good, and if we end up in red-white, it'll be good. I doubt we end up being tricolor. Our last deck was kind of a weird one because we had so much fixing. It's usually not advisable to be a tricolor deck in this format. Okay, I like Infantry more than Parish Blade Trainee. You know, the Trainee's nice, especially if you can always play it on turn 2, but in Limited, it just doesn't happen. This is good all game long because of the value it gives you out of the graveyard. So yeah, we take another strong 2-drop here in Drogskull Infantry. I do like Spore Crawler. I think these two cards are pretty comparable to each other. But obviously we're already in white, so. So we could take a Shield Basher here. You know, I know it's a card that I think is really underperforming because there's so many 1-mana cards that kill it. There's 3 at common, which is not good. But it is an okay card. The question is whether I'd rather just have Adamant Will, though. And I kind of think it is. I kind of think I would rather just have Adamant Will over Shield Basher. I mean, you know, we'd probably take a Shield Basher before our second Adamant Will, but yeah. Hey, there's one. So I think we do take this one. Dawnhart Disciple is definitely a better card, but green looks highly unlikely for us, and the Basher is not bad. Radiant Grace is okay. We're not really interested in Frenzied Devils. I think we probably take the Grace. Especially if we end up in a Brindcomber deck, it'll get more interesting. I don't know that we will, but... Red does not seem super open, it's worth noting. So we'll take Heron Blessed Geist here. We'll take another one, I think, over Nurturing Presence. White is very open. Yeah, I think I'd rather have another IMO. White is very open. Red, less so. We'll just have to see what happens. Okay, this is a pretty strong rare. It does incentivize splashing, and it's just got good stats. And we're not really sold on a second color at this point. We're definitely in white, but other than that, I mean, you know, we did just, yeah. I mean, there's also a Bleed Dry here, for what that's worth. I do think Hiveheart Shaman, is it a little bit better than Bleed Dry? I don't know, it's close. Bleed Dry is great. The fact that it kills everything ever is a big deal in this format. And we don't know what our second color is going to be necessarily. You know, we have a powerful red uncommon, but we didn't pick up anything else really. So it's either Hiveheart Shaman or Bleed Dry, basically, is what I'm saying here. So far, we don't have a lot of removal. Gosh, I think maybe it's just Bleed Dry. I think it is. This is the format, you know. Bleed Dry is really good. It's not easy to splash, it's true, but it's good enough that I think I wanted it there. We may not end up playing it in the end, but it is good. So we have an interesting pick here. We've got Dorothea, who is quite good. Not incredible, but a very good card. Obviously goes well with if we're going blue-white. And we've also got the uncommon Signpost, which is very strong if we're going red-white. So, yeah, we have 2 different Signposts here that are quite good, and I think we're taking one of them. They're definitely the best cards in this pack. This one's a rare. Let's see. I think it's Dorothea just because red was so not open. I mean, I think that's sort of the determining factor for me there. It has more to do with what the first pack looked like. I think I'd be more inclined, like if red-white had been really open, I think I would take the red-white card, but it was not. So we've got Drogskull Infantry again. I think Fleeting Spirit's probably better. I wouldn't mind a Traveling Minister at all, but I think Fleeting Spirit's a little better. With Brindcomber, maybe we do need to be going after auras a bit, but oh, there's also an inspired idea here. I'm less thrilled with it in like a really aggressive deck, or any aggressive deck, but it might just be the pick. Yeah, I think we probably go for it. As far as like reloading your hand late, it's pretty hard to beat. We definitely take Distracting Geist here. It's very strong. I do like Wolf Strike a fair bit, and Fierce Retribution's pretty good too, but I like Distracting Geist more than those things. Okay, so here, maybe Skywarp Scob. I don't like Piercing Light a whole lot. Don't like the Beguiler or Nurturing Presence very much. So yeah, we'll take Skywarp here. I like Griff Rider more than the Trainee. So that's what we're going to take here. A couple of decent blue cards, but I'm more interested in the creatures. We've seen a lot of Grolnok today. So this is another powerful Signpost, but it takes some more work than some of the others, and we're not doing a great job utilizing it. That said, what else are we going to take here? Another Shield Basher? Don't really want Monstrosity or Supernatural Rescue. So maybe I just take it. I could also just take the Mythic, or I guess it's only a rare. But the Paladin's more likely to maybe find its way into our deck, so I'm going to grab it. Okay, so I think I like Parish Blade Trainee a little more than Dawn Heartgeist. Dawn Heartgeist does gain us life with our enchantments, which is nice, and we have several, but the Trainee's a better 2-drop. Pretty much none of this is good for anybody. I guess we'll take Bride's Gown. That's probably the best for us. I doubt we play it, but... So red is not open at all. It's unfortunate, because we took that Alluring Suitor, who is a powerhouse in common, but things have gone reasonably well. We also took a Bleed Dry that ended up not mattering at all. Yeah, I guess we'll take Nurturing Presence. I mean, it's not completely terrible. Mulch is terrible fixing, and we're not in green, so... Nah. Don't want that. And you should never rely on Mulch to be fixing either. That's a dangerous game. I think the only time you play Mulch in this format is if you get Grolnok, basically. I think our deck's looking pretty good. Some more Disturbed creatures would be nice, but we're doing all right. Supernatural, whatever, the card we're talking about. Yeah, it's really good in super ideal situations, but it's way too narrow and way too expensive. Wow, that is a very nice late Drogskull infantry. White is still really open, I would say, if that's happening. We went 3-3 with the last deck. Ooh, some power in this pack for some people. So Fellstinger and Brambleworm are both pretty exciting. Oakshade, Stalker, a little less so, but obviously we're not in the market for either of them. We're pretty low on removal right now. I kind of feel like we need something like Fierce Retribution. Fear of Death is not very good as far as removal goes. I mean, it's definitely playable, but it's not great. Binding Geist is pretty good as well, but I think we need the removal. You know, this is a weak pack for us. I mean, there's fixing, I guess that could be on the table, but I think just taking the removal's better right now. I mean, we need things that kill bombs. You know, that's generally something to have on your checklist for drafts in this format, even to an even greater extent than normal. That's why, I mean, this kind of card usually would be basically never be something you take with the first pick, but the way it's panned out, it makes sense. How many non-creatures do we have? We have 2 instants and a sorcery, and then we have Brinecomber. We also have an enchantment, so that's 5. The other side of that. The other side of all the infantries. Yeah, I think we're interested in Whispering Wizard. I do like the Bystander and the Griff Rider, but this has a way higher ceiling, and I think right now our deck is doing a good job. Also, it's good with our Anthem effect, so I think we grab Whispering Wizard there. I haven't been impressed with Consuming Tide. This kind of card is it's easy to imagine the ideal situation, but it just doesn't do that thing as often as you'd think. So probably Valorous Stance here. It's another removal spell, which is good. I do, again, like Griff Rider, but I like Valorous Stance a little bit more. The utility to also save an important creature is nice. Nice additional utility. Probably grab Binding Geist here. I mean, I think we're interested in anything with Disturb for a variety of reasons at this point. Flame Blessed Bolt is, of course, quite good. Blood Tithe Harvester is really good. Probably the best card in this pack, followed by the Bolt, followed by the Outcast, followed by our Geist. So we're pretty far down the totem pole, but it's what's in this pack. So I've gotten to play with this yet. We don't have any vampires, so I don't really think we can swing it. I don't like either of these Spirit Payoffs very much. I know that they're supposed to go in this deck, but they're both so situational that I'm not that interested. I think I'd rather just take my first Wretched Throng. We'll play 2 of them, so I think taking 1 here is good. Okay, so Sigarda's Imprisonment is nice, but I think we'd rather have Arm the Cathars. Our deck looks well suited to utilizing it, going wide, having good creatures to put it on. We've got Training. there's enough going on. I think we want Arm the Cathlars. I've liked having one copy of it in most white decks. So he's not really worth trying to splash for. I mean, he's mostly a 3-mana 3/3 that'll give you like a blood token, which isn't bad, but it's not great. I think we just grab a Wanderlight Spirit. Markov Waltzer. That's something that would be an interesting splash. We take Militia Rallier, though. Nice little 3-drop. Nobody's in on the Brambleworm, huh? Another Binding Geist. We're just going to take the white card here. Take another Adamant Will here. Don't know that we really want to play it. Valorous Stance is like a way better Adamant Will, more or less. Deck looks pretty good overall right now. Okay, here we'll take a Rescue. Oop. But I don't think we're going to end up playing it. It could happen, but... all these Nurturing Presences. Yeah. So... we didn't get another Throng. I mean, it was unlikely we would, but I thought it was worth the pick. So yeah, we'd have with 3 enchantments, 2 instants, and 3 sorceries, and then we have all those creatures who are also enchantments on the other side. So we definitely got there on Whispering Wizard. I don't love Nurturing Presence. It does get better in a deck that has Wedding Announcement, but it's still not great. I'm probably going to end up cutting the Shield Basher. I mean, it's a decent place to put auras, I guess, but it just has so many downsides, and I think lowering our curve has some advantages here. It doesn't really do anything super synergistic in our deck, other than, like, you know, putting Drogskull Armaments on it, I guess, is pretty beefy. But I think we'd rather have the other things that synergize a little more with our game plan than just, like, being good with auras. Yeah. I mean, the Cavalry actually has the same problem, where it dies to lots of 1-mana spells. But it generally has more upside. So this would be cutting an enchantment. I don't think we want to cut more than 1. Is Nurturing Presence better in our deck than Radiant Grace? It might be. Probably not, though. Yeah, I think we cut the Presence here. Yeah, Wanderlight Spirit's not great. It's true. We don't actually have that many flyers, though. So I think it may stay in. So I think we can probably cut Adamant Will and Nurturing Presence. Like, they're both 2-drops, technically, but they're not ever things you play on turn 2. So I don't feel like cutting them is a terrible plan. The Scob's not bad. We do have a lot of creatures we don't really want to exile, but sometimes exiling them to draw a card is just going to be better than holding on to them. But the Scob could get cut here. Yeah, I think maybe it does get the axe. And I could put in Presence. Yeah, I guess Presence is okay in this deck. We have enough things that pay us off for playing it that I think I like it a little more than the Scob. Yeah. All right. Deck looks all right. Yeah. Militia Rallier is not especially mediocre. It's definitely better in like a red-white deck or something, but it's fine in this deck. Okay, pretty good opening hand. We don't really want to cast this till it's our last card in our hand, or we can cleave it. if we're cleaving it, it means we're flooding out, probably. So we'd like to avoid that for the most part. Okay. Opponent off to a fast start. I should have put my Radiant Grace on their creature. So really aggressive red-green werewolf decks can be pretty scary. And that may be what we're up against here. Yep. Interesting they... Oh, it costs 2 to equip. Okay, makes sense. So Brinecomber is going to be nice here in a second. We'll play our infantry here. I guess we play Brinecomber this turn because we want to try to stick Radiant Grace on it, make a token, etc. It's not the best in terms of being like a defensive creature, but neither are anything else we have in our hands. So I think we just play Brinecomber here. Hope they don't have Flame Blessed Bolt, basically. It's interesting they chose not to attack at all there. It worries me that they have a way to interact, like if we try to put Radiant Grace on Brinecomber. There's a good chance they can interact somehow. I can't double spell here to untransform that thing, so I'm not going to be able to block it, which is not good. So we're going to go to combat. Attack with our 1/1. Then... I guess the Geist can at least trade with it, huh? Yeah, it's not bad. It's easy. It dies to literally everything, but it can actually block it. So they kind of have to kill it. Yeah, I kind of figured they had Wolf Strike. If we had tried to put Radiant Grace on our Brinecomber, that would have gone really poorly. So they probably suit up their Ambusher here and just swing with both. And I think we just have to take it. We'll be able to double spell this turn between our Binding Geist and our Radiant Grace. Yeah, so we just take it here. That's 10 damage. No, not. I guess they want to do something else with their mana. Okay, so now we can double spell here in a different way. So we definitely put Radiant Grace on our Brinecomber. I could put Binding Geist on their Toxic Scorpion. This will shrink back to a 3/3, so I don't need to worry about it. Well, it'll be a 4/3. So we're definitely playing this as an aura. It's just a question of where I want to play it. I guess just putting it on this is probably a better option. And then we'll attack with both of those. Just kidding. We'll attack with that. We're going to need to draw Plains to be able to double spell on this next turn. Yeah, so we take significantly less damage here. I mean, I think we do take it. We are at 11, but I think it's worth taking. It's a little interesting they didn't attack with their Scorpion, but I guess they want to have blockers just to be safe. That is not a very good draw here. I could try to Inspired Idea, but that seems like a really bad idea in this particular situation. I think we want to play another Drogskull Infantry, because they can block pretty well here. Better than Griff Rider. And I think we go ahead and... I think I'll just attack with one token. Arm the Cathars could find us lethal out of nowhere, but we need the additional white mana. Oh, man. I had to deal with that card twice today, and I think it just kills us here. +1/+1 and trample to their whole board. Yeah. So, 6, 8. Doesn't completely kill us. Maybe it does. 3, 5, 7, 10, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 toughness. So we can survive. So that's good. I guess we block. The only problem is we have to deal with Glorious Sunrise again next turn. That lets me kill both of those, and then I just block one of these and go to 1. I guess that's the game plan here. If I didn't have to deal with this buff again next turn, we'd be in good shape because I could bring back one of these and put it on Brindcomber and get a flyer, but we're going to have to deal with that trigger again. So I think we're pretty much dead. Oh, I did the math wrong anyway. I had to block with my Comer. Yeah, we were dead. 0-1 start, not exactly where we want to be, but the deck didn't feel bad or anything. So that's good. The no blue mana is bad, but like having a thing to kill an early creature and then play Wedding Announcement is pretty solid, and the chances of us drawing blue or more white cards are high enough that I think it's a keeper. It would be nice if our opponent didn't play a 2-drop, but... thank you for the follow, Sudoon. Okay. So maybe we'll blow up their Sanguine Statuette here. I don't know. I haven't really seen this work out super well so far. Ooh. So she has...
Come on, Chandra. Think of something good.
She has some problems, but the fact that we're not pressuring her at all right now makes her kind of a threat. So I think we need to change our game plan here, unfortunately. Do I still want to play Wedding Announcement? Wedding Announcement will give me a 1/1. The thing about Distracting Geist is even if they play a blocker, I can attack Chandra. So I think I like that idea. They could be able to blow it up, which would not be fun. The thing about the announcement is I get a 1/1 now, get a 1/1 probably next turn, and then my whole board gets more imposing. It's a hard idea, because she's like not a huge threat, but if she's not being pressured at all, she's kind of a problem. Binding Geist also stands a chance to be a decent attacker. Yeah, I think we have to play the Geist. If they have Flame Blessed Bolt, it's not going to feel good, but I think this allows us to pressure her a little bit at least. It may be a mono red deck. I guess they hit one black card. Okay, so we definitely attack Chandra with our Geist. Make that lose power. So we're okay with this. I mean, as long as we're impacting their board, I think we're going to feel okay with how things are going. And I think that means we want to play Distracting Geist now. So we have two creatures now who can really pressure them. Because one blocker won't do the job. The guys still tap it down. This guy still tap it down. Luckily, they can't use that ability right away, but that ability is going to be a serious problem. Let's hope they don't have Flame Blessed Bolt. I mean, I've said that already, but really don't want it to happen again. So yeah, we take 3. We can't quite kill Chandra, unfortunately for us, but...
You're just never gonna learn, are ya?
Do I want to play Militia Rallier or Wedding Announcement now? Are we in Wedding Announcement territory? I would only draw a card, right? Yeah. So I'd rather add a body to the board than draw a card right now. So luckily this didn't transform, but they can still pick off one of these, but it does have to tap to do it. So it's not a complete disaster. So we'll be able to Fierce Retribution one of these and then just attack Chandra, I think. I'd probably kill the Watcher. It's more of a problem. Combining her with Blood is pretty sweet. Hadn't really seen that yet. So I could block or just kill it. I think we just take it, though. Yeah, so... I guess I don't even need to use Fierce Retribution here if I don't want to. Might be better not to. So, because I can attack, tap down the 4/4, shrink this to a 2/3, and they can block my Geist, but they'll lose Chandra. No, I should probably just Fierce Retribution here. Kill Ballista Watcher. Then, yeah, we'll attack them with these two, and Chandra with this. And we'll untap our 3/3. Okay, so the bad news is they still have... They have like 7 damage on the board right now. That's the bad news. So we're going to have to try to make it to another turn. That's not necessarily easy. I guess I can block the Statuette. I probably will if it attacks me here. I'll probably block the Statuette. I can Inspired Idea, which is going to be pretty nice. So we don't even have to cleave it. So we are about to draw a bunch of cards. So preserving our life as much as we can is probably a good call. Uh-oh. So now we are just going to take 7, I think. Yeah. Okay. We're just going to cast Inspired Idea here. Uncleaved. So we follow that up with Wedding Announcement, which will give us a token. And we don't attack. We're at low life. We have the capability here to stabilize, but if our opponent keeps drawing action... This is definitely the most work I've ever seen the Statuette do. Okay. So I could quadruple block Falconwrath Celebrants. It's not the worst plan ever. If they have any sort of trick or removal, it goes up in smoke, but I think that may be our best bet here. Okay, so we go to 3. We have a lot of gas, which is great. This is going to transform soon, which will be big. So, what do they get back if I block them? Ballista Watcher or something like that? I don't currently have a way to deal with that, but this is going to Anthem our whole board. I am at 3. So the Watcher can ping us, but this is doing the same thing, more or less. Yeah. I guess I could just put Binding Geist on it at some point. It's not a terrible plan, because it's... But I still wouldn't really be able to attack, so I think we block and just live with the fact they're getting a thing back. They're not going to be able to play it this turn. The good news. Yeah, so they get the Watcher. They do have a Doom Dissenter, though. Okay. That's going to be interesting. So... what do I want to do here? We can swing pretty hard here if I do this. Yeah, so... I think we put Nurturing Presence on Binding Geists. And play Distracting Geist on Wanderlight Spirit. Go to combat. I can't really swing out, I guess. I mean, they're only going to have a 1-1. Yeah, I can. Now, I'll leave the 1-1 back because it'll transform. So, we're going to tap this. And give this... I guess I should have done that the other way around. Do I want to play Binding Geist now? Probably. This is going to transform, Anthem our whole board. So... I also have these 2 triggers, though, already. So maybe I hold on to it just in case they draw something scary here. Well, just in case they end up drawing Haste or Blood, I guess I have to do this now. So we'll just do it now. Okay, well they have to choose between playing a wolf or that. Okay. So I think we go infantry. Infantry. You tap a thing, you give something -2, -0, yeah. So, we're going to tap down the Watcher and give this -2, -0. Okay. So, blood wouldn't be great, but I think we can endure it. This can only use its ability once, since it's not transformed. I guess they can pass and have it transform, but they're dead if they do that. They don't have enough mana to kill us with the ability. They need 9 to kill us. So, I guess they could try to attack first, but there's no way I block. I mean, there's no way I don't block, so... They may have an out here, though, the way they're thinking. Okay, so there's blood. But yeah, that won't do it. Whew. We stabilized low there, but luckily we had just enough life to hold on to win. Thank you for the follow, Stacko84. Solid hand. Yeah, we could have used one of those. We had the opportunity a couple times, but I think the secret's out on Traveling Minister. People know it's good. Yeah, that's a pretty nice start. That's for sure. I wonder if they just rumble here. Probably not. Man, they hit a land. That's always rough. When your opponent hits a land off on turn 2 off of the Visionary. There's a very real chance they hit something they can't play. But, you know, it seems like that's never how it goes. Okay, well, Binding Geist is, again, a pretty decent draw. Yeah, so I think we play the Geist here, just pass. Maybe I should have attacked with my infantry, but yeah, I probably should have. Yeah, that's not good. We can kill it with Valorous Stance at some point. I mean, we can kill it with Fierce Retribution sooner. I think we just take 6 from it here. We could double block it, but that's almost assuredly going to be a disaster, so... Yeah, so I think we go ahead and rumble here. Then we play Drogskull Infantry. And then we leave mana up for these 2 removal spells. Okay, so let's see what they end up targeting with these things. Okay, so he's not quite going to be big enough. I have to wait for him to get big enough. Now I can Valorous Stance him if I want to. Yeah. I guess we'll wait for them to do something, though. Do I want a Fierce Retribution or Valorous Stance here? I guess the stance looks pretty good. We'll take 3. You can block the 2/2, which is nice. I guess that's probably the plan here. Well, yeah, you'll only be a 3/2, so you could still block it. I could attack here. Interesting. Yeah, it's not like I can block anything. Well, this will still be a 1/3, but I can attack with just my Binding Geist, yeah. Then we play Weatherlight Spirit, Wanderlight Spirit, and probably Fierce Retribution the Quartermaster if it attacks us. Oh, crap. Yeah, just all these flyers are a little bit of a problem. So I think we have to kill the Waltzer, because the pump it's going to give every turn is a big problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and block the 2/2. Maybe we'll get... Maybe they're being really aggressive here. There's a chance they have a trick, but... yeah, so we'll use Fierce Retribution on the Waltzer. Not too bad. Ooh, that's a nice draw here. Okay, so I think we swing. Do we just swing out? Seems a little dangerous. There's plenty of things like Markov Waltzer in this deck. I think we leave back the Wanderlight Spirit. Yeah, it blocks the biggest creature on the board, so yeah, we'll attack for 7 here. Then we play Heron Blessed Geist. Gives us something that can block the Quartermaster. We don't have an enchantment right now. All right, that worked out. We've managed to find a way to beat 2 pretty aggressive starts. That time we kind of just out-aggroed our opponent. We just kept attacking them and attacking them. Yep, solid hand. This was good. The one game we casted, it's part of the reason we won that game. We just got so much gas in the late game. Man, all these traveling ministers. Making life difficult. I may play Parish Blade Trainee first, but it seems a little greedy. You know, I think I do it now. I can pair it with a flyer. If they'd played a 2-drop that was like a good attacker here, I probably would have played my infantry, but they didn't. Uh-oh. Well, so we basically have to kill him or lose. That's what we're looking at. And right now we can't kill him, so... yeah. I could dig for things, but then I'm going to have to discard cards. I don't think we want to do it yet. Ugh. So we want to play something that can block him, at least. And we can do that. I'm trying to decide if I want to go Geist or Griff Rider. I think the Geist is more ideal here. It's also pairs pretty well with our Parish Blade Trainee. So, yeah, here comes a 1/1. We need removal, and we need it now. That's not removal. Okay. I could attack here, I guess, but that seems not good. This would get bigger, but yeah, I mean, I need... They would just give up a token. Of course, that token is going to grow, which is a problem. Man, it's so hard to beat Taurens if your opponent plays them on turn 3. If you don't have removal. If you have removal, you can make do, but... Yeah, I guess we just play Griff Rider and enter turn. I mean, I imagine they attack with Spore Crawler and Token here. It's a pretty good attack for them. Uh-oh. Now he can attack. Although we could triple block him. Which... We only have 1 white mana. Oh, yeah, no, yeah, that. Yeah. Okay. In that case, I think if we're going to have any chance here, we block both of these. And kill them both. Yeah. Oh boy. So we're getting into inspired idea territory. So I'll go up to... I'll be at 4 cards is the problem. Man. Okay, I mean, I think we just have to live with another turn of Torrens, and then next turn we can inspired idea. Yeah. Yeah, you're not blocking, so may as well rumble. We do have things that can kill Torrens. They're all still in our deck. We are going to draw 3 cards on our next turn, which will be pretty nice. Maybe too late, though. Oh, man. So now even if we do deal with Torrens, who is amazing with Wedding Announcement, we still have to deal with the announcement. All right. Let's do this thing. Did not get any of our kill spells there. I think that means we're dead. Oh my god. They have such a good deck. So, I guess dealing with Torrens here still is going to buy us some time, if nothing else. But yeah, I mean, we're in trouble here. Yeah, no, now it's not going to deal with it. Yeah, they destroyed us. Not much you can do in a game like that. I mean, your opponent plays 3 really incredible rares for their particular deck, and you can't deal with any of them. You're gonna lose. Like, mostly it was the Torrens. Like, turn 3, the amount of value they got was just overwhelming. And there wasn't anything we could do. Thank you for the follow, VNHSOR. I think on the draw we can keep this, but it is a sketchy hand. No doubt about that. But going to 6 is pretty likely to be worse. Okay, well, that's annoying. Now they know exactly what our hand is. And they got to take something. You don't always get to hit something with it, but our opponent did. Well, drawing a 2-drop there was nice. So 3rd land, please, would be good. There it is. We kind of have a free attack here. I think we take it. We could have Adamant Will. They don't know. They know pretty certainly. They have a pretty good idea because they know all the cards in their hand but 1. But, you know, let's play a Rallier here. Dorothea. Not a bad card to get here. Also not a great card to get here. But I might want to play her. She causes enough problems just with her big body that... The Binding Geist would let us be a little more aggressive in the near future, and maybe... I mean, it also... Yeah, let's play Dorothea. And pass our turn. So... Do I want to double block here? Is it worth the risk? I don't think so. I think we just take 5 to the face. Unfortunately. Continuing with our mana problems, but we can play things at least. So, yeah, I think we block this with Binding Geist to make them discard a card to save it, and we just take the other 5. With all the mana they have up, it's just not a good idea to try to block. It's just not what we want to do. We'll have to at some point, but we're not quite there yet. Okay. You know, I guess putting Binding Geist on Bloodcrazed Socialite isn't too bad. Might just be better than playing a 2/2. Or a 3/1. Playing a 3/1's probably... pretty good, actually. Then next turn we could play both Binding Geists, potentially. I could attack with her just to transform her, but doesn't really seem worth it. I think we just pass. We could attack with these two and untap the Rallier. It's not bad, but there are enough things that could go wrong right now that I don't think we go that route. Oh, crap. Of course, they play the Vampire Lord to ruin our lives. Ugh. This is one of those drafts where you lose to a bomb every game you lose. That happens in this format more often than is nice. Okay. They didn't attack. I mean, they didn't have great attacks, especially because they don't have mana up for their Squire, but... I can envision a situation here where we win, but it's going to involve Arm the Cathars and some flyers. It's going to be tough. We play Heron Blessed Geist here. End our turn. They know both the cards in our hand, which is not awesome. So they can play around Arm the Cathars much more effectively than otherwise would be the case. Okay. So, I think we block the Squire and just take 8 here. Hope we don't die. I mean, that's kind of where we're at in this game. So, they can discard a card to save it, but they do have to use a card. Oh boy, yeah. I don't think we have a way out of this. I can play Arm the Cathars and Drogskull Infantry, which maybe keeps us alive one more turn. Yeah, I guess it will. And we'll do a bunch of damage. Yeah, I think that's what we go with here. Militia Rallier already can untap itself, so I don't know if I want to pump it. Yeah, I guess I will. Yeah, you've all got Vigilance, so you all attack. Drop your power to 1. And you untap yourself. Not that that's what you need, but... we drop them to 11 there. Then we play Drogskull Infantry. I don't think that's gonna do it, but... yeah. Oh yeah, they have Menace. So it's definitely not gonna do it. There wasn't really a way for us to get out of this. This also drains us a life. Yeah, I mean, that was our best bet, but it wasn't going to ever do it, so... yeah. Well, I think that deck could have been better than 2 and 3. But, yeah, we ran into some tough opponents. Some pretty gross decks. Especially that second one we lost to. That was the nastiest one. Oop. That was the nastiest of the bunch, where they just slammed 3 rares in a row in the late game.